good evening, and thanks for joining us. This is Bianca here for speaking on behalf of Jakarta Greenery for Green Drinks Jakarta. Today we will be joined by Natasha Gott, board member of the Learning Farm. The Learning Farm is just situated outside of Jakarta. It is a farm that runs programs for children and adults of different backgrounds and communities, with a little touch of social justice in the philosophy and in their programs. We'll be hearing more about it from Natasha very soon, so I'll just invite her in right now. Since the pandemic, we have had to change a little bit our operations, and now we're doing IG Lives every Thursday evening, all recorded, and you'll find them on YouTube. Hello, Natasha!
Hi.
Yay, we got you online.
Hi everyone. I'm so sorry about these technical difficulties.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very fine, and you?
Good, yeah, good. Okay, great. So everyone, this is Natasha. Yes, thank you for getting online, and thank you for sparing some time, because I know how busy you actually are currently. So with all your projects, with Sadan Market, with your script writing and things like that. So thank you again. Okay.
Absolutely.
Jumping right into it. So you are a board member of the Learning Farm. Is that correct?
Yes. So I joined a few years ago, and I've been super grateful for the opportunity because it gives, I guess, young people like me an opportunity to make some impact that's worthwhile and that's meaningful.
Okay, yes, I'm very excited to know more about the Learning Farm, because I have heard of it before in the past, but I suppose with more of the farming happening nowadays in the city, urban farming, hydroponics, I think the name is starting to catch on again. Do you want to explain a little bit more in detail about what the Learning Farm is and what makes it different than other farms, like other kaboons that we often hear?
Well, first of all, the Learning Farm is actually a yayasan. So it's a foundation. Yes. We're a nonprofit organization that aim to empower marginalized youth in Indonesia and also refugees here in Indonesia. So our main aim is to provide a foundation where marginalized youth or vulnerable youth can come and go through our residential educational process, whether that's the basic program or the advanced program. What we do is that we establish wadah atau foundation for people to grow rather than a growing farm.
Okay, so it's not just about the plants, but it's also about the people. Great.
It's mostly about the people and their learning journey.
Okay, so when they go to this farm and then they join a program, what are the exact specific things that they learn? Yes, it's farming, but is there something different to it?
So basically, we start off with the basics of learning how to farm organically. So what we're trying to do is to share our knowledge of what sustainable farming is, or what economical processes of farming can be brought back to their respective communities. And moreover, since we've been so blessed with companies and volunteers who come in and out, they really do help us with our personal growth programs, communication classes, and basically vocational training. So our students can not only farm, but also grow into people that have options and expansive knowledge that's not just limited to farming.
Okay, so they learn about soft skills, let's say, in communication, in interpersonal relations, and maybe life skills?
Yeah, so we break it down to a few categories. And so our 3 pillars are personal growth, communication and literacy, and a healthy body, healthy mind.
Okay, interesting. Would you like to expand a little bit more on that? And I'm more curious, though, about how these 3 pillars connect to sustainability and why it's such an important thing in the learning farm?
So at the Learning Farm, we want to grow people with established principles. So it's not just like how to make money, but it's more than that. It's not just quantitative, but it's qualitative too. Like what kind of life skills would you need in order to talk to your future customers if you so choose to be an entrepreneur one day? And how to communicate, whether that's in Indonesian, Bahasa, or English. The students develop the confidence to communicate and to express themselves and better communication patterns so that they're able to go out there in the world and grow by themselves after going through our programs.
Okay, interesting.
Ooh, my hair is so messy. I'm sorry about that, guys.
No, it's beautiful. So you did mention how the programs at the Learning Farm are open to the refugee community.
Yes.
Would you like to share a little bit more about perhaps testimonials or experiences from the refugee students that have joined and what they do now, perhaps?
Awesome. So at the moment, I would love to congratulate the students that moved forward in our advanced program. Just today, we admitted 15 students in our advanced program, and three of those students are actually refugees from Afghanistan. So we're very, very happy that they can seek a place that they feel safe and also learn. And that's the most important part, is to learn something new and being able to be brave enough to be creative or proactive, like in farming or in any other respective their interests. So generally, we accept 2 to 3 refugees to join our TLF basic program, but since the whole COVID situation, we've actually had to push back our basic program schedule, but we are still continuing with the advanced programs. And they come from Afghanistan, Somalia, Pakistan, and basically, in order for them to be admitted to the advanced program, they have to show a distinct interest in agriculture in the basic program.
Okay. How do they show this distinct interest? Like, do they have to have prior knowledge before being accepted?
Absolutely not. So all knowledge after our program. So it's okay if you don't know much about farming to begin with. The whole point of having the Learning Farm is to educate. So as long as we're doing our job in educating, we hope that our students can move forward to the advanced program. And I was really excited because one of the farmers markets because Sadr is basically the marketing leg for the Learning Farm at the moment.
Yes.
And when we do offline events, either through Jakarta GREENER.e or what's it called, bulk store in Menteng, I remember that Ahmad came and he helped sell the vegetables. So he was able to have customer interactions for the first time in his time here in Indonesia. Not only did he grow the vegetables, but he was able to sell them. And I think that's a different feeling. You know, you have a greater sense of accomplishment because not only did you plant the seed, harvest it, but you were able to reap what you sowed. And we love integrating that vertically because we want our students to have a wider knowledge or expanse of knowledge. And once we see that firsthand, it's really touching to know that we're actually making a difference.
Yes, that absolutely resonates. Yeah, this is all great. Okay. So is there something that you'd like to share a little bit more on when it comes to I suppose different cultures coming together and not only just learning together, but actually working the land. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna get my power bank first.
Okay.
Just casually, guys. Sorry about that. I'm gonna lift this up a little bit. Okay.
No,
this is I just like real talk. Okay. Sorry. What was the question?
So, do you have anything to say or share when it comes to different people from different backgrounds, different cultures coming together, not just to learn something, but learning something from the land, like the
Absolutely.
environment? Mm.
As you know, like Indonesia, we've got thousands of islands and different terrains as well. So I think at Learning Farm, we have paddy fields that are more suited to, like, I guess the locations geographically that have more rainfall. Itu kan lebih ke padi ya. Tapi we also educate the children on how to care for livestock for drier
Yep.
conditions, or basically how to grow a diverse range of plants and which one is more monetizable and which one could that they can applicate back home.
Yeah.
And also about the diversity thing, like I think it's a wonderful experience to just be in an environment, an inclusive environment where our students can actually learn from each other. Like not just on the farming front, but cultural acceptance as well.
Yes, 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 yes. And I think nothing beats experiential learning, in my
Absolutely.
opinion. Yeah, I mean, we could read about different cultures till, there are no books left to read, but really at the end of the day, it's really the human interaction and the human connection that we make when we do get to meet each other face to face. Unfortunately, during quarantine, this is the best human interaction sometimes that we can do online, but yeah, but it is very valuable, I see. So moving on to this other really cool thing that the Learning Farm has been doing during quarantine or during this from the start of the pandemic. If I'm not mistaken, the Learning Farm had donated some fresh produce to an public healthcare or public isolation ward in Senayan. Benar nggak?
Yes. So normally what we do at the Learning Farm is what we've harvested in terms of vegetables, we distribute it through like handshakes or have farmers markets underneath the buildings of our supporters or donators. But during this time, we've realized that, well, we're still growing, we're still harvesting, but to help within our own limitations, we've decided to extend a hand. And we collaborated with a local company, a local foundation named Medco Foundation, and what we've done is we provided fresh vegetables to public kitchens for the frontliners that are handling this pandemic. So that includes the emergency COVID-19 hospital at Wisma Atlet Senayan. I'm very proud that we've stepped in. We've personally been affected by the pandemic as well because we run on donations and the generosity of you guys. And so I'm really glad that we can still help during a time where we probably also need help. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. That's awesome. How does, I suppose, fresh produce, the vegetables that you give, really change or affect the operations of the Wisma Atlet, the isolation ward? Like, why vegetables when maybe you guys could even just donate ready-made food?
I mean, that's an excellent question, but when we asked in terms of what these hospitals needed, we realized that the nutritional value of certain meals, perhaps previously admitted, wasn't making the criteria to boost someone's immune system. And so when we realized that, we decided that vegetables are high nutritional value. If we can give fresh organic vegetables and support their public kitchens, and that's within our limitations, and that's something that we can do, then we'll do. I think ready-made food perhaps poses as, I mean, it's kind of diversified and not really in line with what we do as a farm. So I think we just did what makes sense to us and what we could do to contribute. But the public kitchens are right next to the facilities, so the frontliners do get it cooked fresh. So I'm sure that once it's out of the kitchen, it's served warm and still fresh.
That's super nice. So is this, I suppose, isolation ward still functioning, or is it now something else?
I think for the time being, we don't have updates in terms of like what Wisma Atlet has turned to or their present condition.
Yeah.
What we do is we just deliver the vegetables so that they have enough nutrition from fresh vegetables that they
Yeah,
need.
that's actually very important. I find it very interesting where when we actually do talk about immune system, then like it or not, it's always got something to do with vegetables and fruits, and it's always related to then farming, agriculture, which we often forget, right? When we're, working day in, day out at the office, like could just buy something from somewhere, but then actually the real deal is in the veggies and the fruits that we take. Um, so that connects to again organic farming. I just want to know, I suppose, the basic difference that you can share with us, just very basic, yeah, between normal farming, agriculture, and things like that, with what makes something organic.
So basically what makes us organic or our farming system, our planting system organic is that we don't use any chemical insecticides or pesticides, and basically how we care for our plants is organic through organic compost or basically no additives or hormones or GMOs, anything like that. So a lot of, in this modern day and age, we see a mass commercialization of agriculture. And when you really step back and see, oh wow, are these systems sustainable? Are are they real? Because you see like perfect produce these days, but you don't know if it's really perfect on the inside. It's kind of like a metaphor, right?
That's
I
deep.
mean, I'm not, because we don't know, and because I think a main difference of the learning farm versus other mass commercial farms is that because we're still quite small and our vision isn't to make mass commercial agriculture spaces, we
Yeah.
concentrate on the process. Whereas when you get that big, that fast, sometimes there are loopholes in the processes that you forget. So it kayak quality-nya tuh jadi lebih rendah. And that's not something that we want for our people. I mean, what we're doing is that we're empowering vulnerable youth to learn organic farming so that they can take back this organic farming processes back to their villages, so their respective communities can benefit from organic processes, not from mass commercialization, not by using cheap pesticides that will probably ensure a great first harvest, but sustainability wise, will it ruin their soil? Will it ruin their next harvest? These are all variables that need to be accounted for, and thus we focus on the education of organic farming rather than using any of these additives to speed in the process up.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
my personal.
Interesting. Yeah. This is interesting because I always think that organic farming needs to be done like big scale, or else it's not really organic, or maybe it's difficult, and we need to have like the right strain so that yield doesn't get compromised. Is it difficult to organically farm, and is it something we could do at home or?
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely what we want is for people to start gardening at home and realizing the process. I think part of the reason why Sadar and the Learning Farm go really hand in hand in terms of projecting this vision is because once we understand how much it takes to grow a single plant ourselves, perhaps it will awaken us in terms of down the line and how we appreciate the people that plant our food for us. Yeah, Messi. When we
Yeah.
have this chain reaction of appreciation, the world becomes a better place through gratitude and understanding. And
Absolutely.
that's something that we want. I mean, the learning farm as an extra stream, because sometimes it's hard to just ask for donations, right? So we've been doing this organic hydroponic single wick system, and we sell kales and individual vegetables and herbs for
Yeah.
consumption, but also to grow. So that's
Oh,
something we've started at our market, yeah, is to sell these single wick hydroponic systems so you can grow your own eggplant, chili, basil,
yeah, okay.
mint.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of these really cool values like gratitude and appreciation that you just mentioned. I suppose it's undeniably we just it's just what happens when we start farming and we start working with the soil and seeing things grow and actually appreciating the time for it to grow. Hey.
Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. Because we don't want to
Interesting.
nature. We want to work with nature, right? Especially since we're human. Like we have to understand our respective nature, and we have to understand nature's system.
Yeah.
We can't
'Cause-
just, like add whatever just to press fast forward so we can get the harvest faster and make it look prettier. We don't want that. Because what are we losing by doing that? That needs to be explored so we can understand why it's healthier to consume organic products or vegetables. It's better for you and for the planet.
Yeah. It's like learning about nature is effectively then learning about oneself. So,
I love
it's
that.
okay, I got a couple of last questions. But before we go to your question and answer, I'm just gonna go quickly scroll up and see some comments. I think Sita said something kind of cool. Sita said, and organic farming grows produce which is far more nutritious than some pesticide-laden farms. Well, say what it is. Yeah, okay, I concur. I concur. Yeah, yeah. That there's some there's truth there for sure. Um, so what about okay, so just question for you, Tash. How
Yeah.
do you see yourself, or I suppose the learning farm, grow or expand within the next, say, 3 to 6 months and maybe a year? Where do you want to see you guys within the next, within the next time frame?
Oh, I'd love to keep going. I'd love to keep helping where I can, and hopefully the farm will have enough of what it needs in order to sustain itself.
Yeah.
During pandemic situations, unfortunately, we've had to limit a lot of our contact between students, and when there's a worldwide emergency like this, and we thrive or we are sustained by donations, it's a bit difficult. So I hope, anyways, that we can gain some traction and organic exposure so people know what we're all about and how they can help make impact through us as well. I
Hmm.
think we'd love to invite more of the millennial generation, or because at the moment I feel like um, the older generation perhaps know who we are through corporate partnerships and etc. But the younger people don't know what we're all about. And so I'd love to share our message, and I'd love to share what we do so we can establish connection with you guys as well. And we're open to any suggestions. How can we grow as a foundation? So I'd love to throw that out there to you too, and anyone who wants to comment on this. And thanks so much for watching, guys.
Yeah, I wonder if partnerships with schools would be something that the Learning Farm would like to explore.
Absolutely. If we
Yeah.
get really awesome volunteers that can help bridge that, we are so open for that.
Okay, okay. So we can get all the students going through IB, doing all their CAS credits.
I know. I was thinking the same thing too.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Well, we'll be talking for sure. No, I do. I generally do have a couple of things, but anyway, I think this is where we would end our IU session with Natasha. But if do you have any last words, actually, I would like to say.
So for those of you who want to know more about what we're about, just head over to our website, www.thelearningfarm.com. Follow our social media. We're going to revamp it soon. And for any purchases for those hydroponic organic wick systems, so you can grow your own kale, chili, terong, 100% of the proceeds go to the Learning Farm Foundation. So go ahead and DM us on Sadad and we'll process your order if you'd like to donate.
Great. Okay, well, I'm gonna ask all the little details and the email addresses and the websites from you as soon as we finish, and so that I can put it on the actual video. Yeah, and I would encourage everyone to check out Sadad, because I think we'll be coming out with some really cool fundraising little products.
Yay! We're doing soaps for help for refugees.
Yes,
so we did the photo shoot for that today, and once the edits come out, then Bianca will help us help refugees.
Oh shit. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you for your time, and thanks for everyone who's stopped by the IG live session today. Transcripts will be available, and hopefully also translations. Jadi yang cuma bisa ngomong bahasa Indonesia juga bisa baca. Yes.
Aduh, maaf banget ya. My first live session loh.
Yes. This is history for you. Hey, no, great job. You did it. Awesome job. I'm still a bit shaky juga, so we're all in this, same little newbie boat together. So.
Oh ya, maafin ya guys kalau misalnya masih rada hari pengalaman ini.
Awesome. Anyway, okay, well we'll let you to it. I know you've got lots of work. Thanks for sharing all the cool stuff that the Learning Farm is doing. And hopefully we'll get to all go one time.
Absolutely. So as soon as this COVID pandemic is over, please visit our farm, take your friends, your family, see for yourself what we do. And if you want to learn how to plant yourself, we also provide herbs straight from the Learning Farm. And for those who want to order vegetables, we'll post the WhatsApp soon. So we deliver every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Okay, great. Cool. All right. Well, thank you.
Bianca. Thank you everyone for joining.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.